This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Our top story, a brush fire that's burning acres of Shamrock Park in Venice. This is the second fire at that park in just 2 weeks.
Shamrock Park is off of Shamrock Drive. The cause of the brush fire is still under investigation, but firefighters are calling it suspicious. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick is live on the scene with a look at the damage and the latest on the investigation. Jess.
Good evening, Haley and Scott. What you can see behind me is just a small portion of the damage done here at Shamrock Park. Things are still smoldering. The Sarasota Sheriff's Department unloaded at least 10 gallons of water on the place today via helicopter. And firefighters, of course, were on the scene all day. Charcoaled palm trees, sand coated with ashes. This is all that's left of nearly 4 acres of Shamrock Park. And what started the blaze is still a mystery.
It's suspicious. This is the second fire now in 2 weeks that we've had out here. So there's a lot of kids in the area. So, that's one possibility of the cause.
There are still smoke and flames, but the fire is contained. Firefighter Jay Bailey was still on the scene Tuesday, keeping an eye on it all.
Well, we'll probably end up monitoring this for several more days. Sometimes these areas will smolder. They look like they're out, then it'll kind of flare up a little bit more.
Luckily, no one was hurt and there wasn't any property damage. And all of the animals that live here seem to have escaped the flames.
We didn't see any evidence of any mortality with animals out here at all. So we've walked the area several times.
All of the trails remain open and people are flocking to Shamrock Park as usual. Some just learning about the fire for the first time.
I could smell, the fire and we're like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Others witnessed the flames in person. Ashley Yust and her family live just 3 miles away.
It was a little scary just because we live so close. We didn't know how that was going to affect, us, and we love this park. We come here all the time.
It was Monday night's wind and low humidity that Bailey says helped the flames spread quickly. But in less than 2 hours, the fire was contained. He says it won't be too long before the brush regrows.
Once we start getting the rains, the grasses will start coming up and the shrubs will start greening up again. And within a year, you probably won't be able to tell it even burned.
It's that dry time of year, so firefighters are asking that you just take a little bit of extra precaution. Again, 2 fires at this park alone in just 2 weeks. They're asking that you keep a close eye on any bonfires that you might have. Also, your children, make sure that you know what they are doing. And if you see anything or anyone suspicious, make sure that you report it to authorities. In Venice, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. That is one drawback to this beautiful weather we've been having. It is dry.
Yeah, and we still have a couple of months or more of dry weather ahead of us here, so that is alarming. Let's get the latest on the forecast now with Josh Stone.
That's right, guys. It is dry. There is a hint of rain coming our way on Thursday, but it's only a little bit, and we may not even get it, so we'll have to watch that closely. But right now, again, dry conditions. It's beautiful, though. Some people like this kind of weather. 70 degrees, dew point at 62, humidity at 76, westerly wind at 12 miles per hour. Nothing to show you on the radar. We have dry air above us. That's capping out the atmosphere, sinking and compressing air thanks to a very strong ridge of high pressure, which eventually could break down depending on if this cold front will make its way into the area on Thursday. We'll have to watch that and talk more about that in the main weather. But as far as your overnight forecast, expect mostly clear skies and temperatures to fall into the upper 50s. But with temperatures getting close to the dew point later tonight, there is a possibility of some patchy fog. We'll talk more about your forecast when I come back. Back to you.
All right, Josh, thank you. New tonight, friends and neighbors are holding a vigil for a Palmetto woman who was murdered. Palmetto police say investigators found what they believe to be Tricia Freeman's remains yesterday in a field in Levy County. Police say 26-year-old Roy Nichols Jr. confessed to killing Freeman. He's the boyfriend of Freeman's 21-year-old daughter, Kayla Collier. Nichols said he killed Freeman last Tuesday during an argument. He and Collier then got rid of her body, left Freeman's car in Ashland, Kentucky, and then headed north until they were caught in West Virginia. Nichols is charged with second-degree murder. Collier is charged with accessory after the fact. Friends of the victim still struggling with the news of her death.
Like I said, we're trying to get justice. We're out here doing what we can do right now for her, and that's all we can do. And the only thing we can do is just keep praying up, and that's it, Both
Collier and Nichols are expected to return to Manatee County to face their charges later this week. That vigil will start tonight at 6:30 at Freeman's home on 11th Street West in Palmetto.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is asking for help in identifying possible victims of a serial flasher. Jacob Martinez was arrested in connection to sex crimes in both Sarasota and Manatee counties. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies were first alerted to an incident in January after a woman reported a man following her into a parking lot near the University Town Center and exposed himself. In March, Manatee County deputies arrested Jacob Martinez for flashing people after seeing media coverage of his arrest. The victim of the UTC incident told deputies Martinez matched the description of the suspect. Anyone who believes they may have been a victim is asked to contact the Criminal Investigations section.
Follow up now on a Sarasota man accused of fracturing the skull of his girlfriend's 3-year-old daughter. Nicholas Ritter was back in court today for a case management hearing. He's charged with aggravated battery towards a child. Ritter was arrested last September after bringing the girl to Sarasota Memorial Hospital and telling staff she fell. Doctors found bruises on her back and chest, fractures on both sides of her skull, among other injuries. His trial is scheduled to begin in August.
In the past week, there have been 2 near drownings of toddlers on the Suncoast. Police officers are now urging parents to keep a close eye on their children. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report on average 10 people nationwide drown each day. 2 of 10 are ages 14 and under. And drowning ranks 5th among the leading cause of unintentional death in the country. Local law enforcement, they have some tips on how to keep kids safe.
A fence around your pool. You can put little charms on your door, so if the door opens, you are aware that somebody just left out the back door. Another good idea is to keep little buoys or a pole or something by your pool in case somebody falls in, and if you can't swim, at least you can reach out a pole to get them back to safety.
Officer Singley says with all the water surrounding us on the Suncoast, it is important for parents to teach their children how to swim as early as possible.
Sarasota circus legend Nick Wallenda has a new gig. The high wire artist who represents the 7th generation of the famed Flying Wallendas will be the new headliner of the Big Apple Circus when it returns to the stage later this year. The Big Apple Circus is in the process of recovering from financial troubles. A Florida-based private investment firm acquired the circus's assets for $1.3 million through a bankruptcy auction last month. The Big Apple Circus plans to return with shows October through January in New York, and then a national tour will follow. Now, you may remember several of Nick Wallenda's family members are still recovering from an accident in Sarasota last month. 5 performers were injured when they fell about 28 feet from a high wire during a Circus Sarasota rehearsal. Wallenda was not hurt. Circus Sarasota says they're currently preparing for upcoming Sailor Circus shows and Summer Circus Spectacular, and Wallenda will not perform in that summer show.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. And Richard, I understand we finally had some direction on Wall Street today.
Haley, you're absolutely right, and that direction was straight up early this morning. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up by 64 points, but be careful what you wish for. All these plus 0.1 and plus 0.2 are gone. Today we had the worst day we've seen so far this year, and you have to go all the way back to September of last year before you find that all 3 indices we follow on a regular basis are down by at least 1%. But that was the case today. The low of the day minus 252 points. Let's take a look at exactly how things closed. There you see the Dow at 20,668.01. A loss of almost 238 points, 1.14%, on heavy volume of 877 million shares. The NASDAQ, which had been up 4 days in a row and set an intraday record early this morning, down 108 points today, more than 1.8%, at 5,793.83. Again, on heavy volume of 1,919 million shares. And the S&P, as you would expect, down 1.25%. Down 29 points at 2,344.02. Well, despite all the negative news, look at that red. Yes, today Apple came out and announced they have 2 new products, actually 3 if you count the iPad. There you see their red phone, and that phone will come as a 7 or a 7 Plus. The reason for the red is that Apple has a Project Red in which they donate the proceeds, or the majority of the proceeds from the sale of these phones, to AIDS in Africa. trying to both help solve the problem and treat the problem. Shares of Apple, by the way, intraday, $142.80. That's an all-time high, although I'm afraid the stock closed a little bit lower than that number. But Operation Red is available, and you can buy your new phone as early as the 24th, which is Friday of this week.
Almost looks like Wisconsin Red to me, too.
Yeah, I think so.
News on Chevron and Coca-Cola as well tonight, Richard.
Yes, Scott, I tried to be a little more subtle with my tie today if I could. Chevron and Coke, the reason I talked about them, out of the 30 stocks that are in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, those were the only two that finished the day with gains.
All right, Richard, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the Department of Homeland Security is banning more electronics from airplanes. How this new rule could impact your next flight.
And ABC7 meteorologist Josh Stone will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus later, a lot of us struggle to get a good night's sleep. How some extra shut-eye could make you feel like you've hit the jackpot. That's coming up.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
Car experts and customers agree there's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And Subaru had the best resale value of all brands for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $209 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
Anyone flying to the United States on certain airlines from countries in the Middle East and Africa will no longer be allowed to carry on some larger electronic devices.
Homeland Security says new intelligence led to these added restrictions. ABC News' Danya Bacchus explains who will be affected by these new rules.
The emergency rule affects passengers traveling to the United States from 8 Middle Eastern countries. Countries including U.S. allies Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the Gulf states. No longer allowed in the cabins of jetliners, laptops, tablets, cameras, DVD players, and electronic games. Instead, those items must now be checked in.
And what's likely happened is that the government, the U.S. government, has developed some intelligence that a group or individual has developed some type of device that they can get onto an airplane using a laptop or some other electronic appliance.
The Department of Homeland Security saying it is concerned about terrorists' ongoing interest in targeting commercial aviation. The new rules being met by mixed reaction from some travelers.
That's really annoying. A person like me, I like to use my laptop in there, whether it's for entertainment purposes or work purposes.
You have to deal with it. You can't do anything about it.
There's enough screening going on and that's not necessary.
Officials hoping to prevent another attack like this one. Last year, a laptop full of explosives was smuggled on a plane, detonating after takeoff, ripping a massive hole in the aircraft as it was flying over Somalia.
What they're trying to do here is take an extra step to take anything that could be packed with explosives out of the cabin and prevent some sort of a device being manually detonated in the cabin.
The United Kingdom has also added similar restrictions for some flights, also from countries in the Middle East and Africa. The Department of Homeland Security is giving the airports just 96 hours to comply with the directive, which as of now has no end date. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And we reached out to the president of Sarasota Bradenton International Airport. He tells us that since we have no nonstop flights to the Middle East, the electronics ban has no effect on flights traveling in and out of the Suncoast.
The director of the National Hurricane Center is going back to work at the Weather Channel. Rick Knabb has been the center's director since 2012. He plans to take part in several conferences and tours before leaving the center on May 12th. He previously worked at the Weather Channel's tropical weather expert before accepting his current role. He says his new job as an on-air hurricane expert will allow him to focus on his greatest passion, communicating about safety during natural disasters. Deputy Director Ed Rappaport will serve as acting director for the upcoming 2017 hurricane season. Of course, we hope none of them have much to talk about.
I hope
this summer,
so.
but
you never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Josh is in for Bob, by the way.
Approaching 2 months away.
Yeah,
2 months away for the kickoff of the 2007 hurricane season.
Yeah.
But all is quiet right now. No tropical activity and no activity as far as the weather goes, as far as any sort of storms, just sunshine around the Suncoast. Temperatures look like this right now, pretty comfortable, a little bit cooler on the coast, but temperatures in the low 70s. You go inland, it's where you're experiencing temperatures in the lower 80s. 83 right now in Lake Placid, 81 in Sebring, 81 in Avon Park at this time. So what does our forecast entail for this evening? Clear and cool once again, though I think our temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer than they were earlier this morning. Sunny and dry conditions tomorrow, so the same song and dance for our forecast tomorrow. We can embrace it because we like sunshine. We're in the sunshine state. But then as we get into our Thursday, things potentially could change with some wet weather coming our way. Kind of in a ring of fire here, area of high pressure on top of us, but on the very northern fringe of the area of high pressure, storms are happening up here in Tennessee, heading towards Atlanta. There's a severe thunderstorm watch box. It's not going to affect us, but just out of interest of what's going on in the weather. As far as our radar goes, nothing to show you here. Everything's very quiet. Once again, tan color shows up in the water vapor imagery. Lots of dry air on top of us, clearing out the skies. But to our north, a little different story here. They're under an enhanced risk with severe weather here around the Atlanta area. So if you're flying out of SRQ tonight, there potentially could be a delay taking place there, but none of these storms are going to be affecting us. A little impulsive energy riding through Tennessee right now, kind of a nasty, ragged-looking bow here. When you see what looks to be almost like a boomerang on the radar, that tells us that there's strong winds coming out of these storms. And another feature to point out, going all the way over to the west coast, this counterclockwise rotation here, area of low pressure, bringing a lot of rainfall into Northern California and through the Cascades, some upper elevation, some heavy snow. But this could be the next big weather maker as we get into the latter part of this week and into the weekend, affecting the Midwest with strong storms. I have to watch this. Kind of a cold front coming our way by Thursday will give us some clouds. The question is, will we see any rain out of it? There's only a 20% chance, and if that does develop, it most likely will be inland and away from the coast. But we'll watch it, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a big threat as far as widespread rain showers because the dynamics just are not there. As for your boating forecast, the high tide will be 11:33 tomorrow morning, the low tide at 3:22 in the afternoon, sunrise at 7:31. and winds would be out of the west at 10 knots, seas anywhere from 1 to 2 feet with a light chop in the bays, temperature at the beach in the mid-70s. The overnight low a little bit warmer than last night. The overnight low last night was around the low to mid-50s. Will be in the upper 50s, but as the temperatures cool to the dew point, there could be areas of patchy fog that develop. So you're commuting in the early morning hours of tomorrow, just look out for that. 75 for our high tomorrow. Average is 77 for this time of the year. And Thursday, well, we'll have to watch and see, but one thing for sure, the winds will pick up on Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, and linger into Friday, so we're calling for breezy conditions. But the weekend, after that weak front passes us by, once again, same forecast as we'll have tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies and highs topping out in the upper 70s. Back to you.
Josh, looks great. Thank you so much. Now on the Suncoast Traffic Watch. Right now we're seeing a crash. It's on University Parkway in the westbound lanes right at the intersection with US 301. So you may want to avoid that area. It's probably causing some slowdowns. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, developers of an experimental blood test for autism say it can detect the condition in more than 96% of cases and do so across a broad spectrum of patients. This could potentially allow for earlier diagnosis. The findings were published in PLOS Computational Biology. This is the latest effort to develop a blood test for autism spectrum disorder, which is estimated to affect about 1 in 68 babies. The cause largely remains a mystery. In this study, researchers measured levels of 24 proteins that have been linked to autism and found 5 that, in the right combination, seem most predictive of the condition. Doctors may be getting conflicting information about caring for cancer survivors. Researchers examined cancer guidelines from North America and Europe that have been published since 2010. They advise doctors on the best ways to care for survivors of 9 of the most common malignancies. They found ambiguous recommendations in 83% of the guidelines. The study, published in JAMA Internal Medicine, found few tests are universally recommended, and there are different guidelines for the same type of cancer. And when tests are recommended, it rarely specified for how long people should be tested. Hospitals are periodically visited by unannounced inspectors, and a new study reveals how staff members respond when those accreditors are in town. It resulted in significantly fewer patient deaths during the inspection week than the weeks before and after the inspector's visit. Researchers at Harvard University found the disparity was particularly pronounced at major teaching hospitals, where the heightened response, if applied for an entire year, would translate to 3,600 fewer deaths. Coming up, 2 men attack a state trooper after a high-speed chase. This dramatic dashcam video and who came to the trooper's aid. Plus, later, Neil Gorsuch grilled at his Senate confirmation hearing. Find out what Gorsuch had to say and how long his nomination process could take after this.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
It's the season of savings right now during the spring clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Cherokee for just $18,999. And for a limited time, get America's best value, a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Hey, Tampa Bay, join us for the premiere of a new St. Petersburg tradition, the St. Petersburg Seafood and Music Festival, happening Saturday and Sunday, March 25th and 26th from 10 to 6 p.m. at North Straub Park. Savor mouth-watering Florida Gulf Coast seafood dishes by top restaurants and chefs while you enjoy great live music from some of Florida's top musical groups. So grab your family and friends for the St. Petersburg Seafood and Music Festival, March 25th and 26th. For more information, visit seafoodfestivals.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world. The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
one.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High-performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
Dramatic dash cam video has just been released out of Michigan showing a trooper being attacked. Now in this video you can see State Trooper Gary Guild chase down 21-year-old Michael Barber, who authorities say was riding a stolen motorcycle. The chase ends when Barber crashes, but he and the trooper then get into a struggle. During that struggle, Barber's brother shows up and then puts Trooper Guild in a chokehold. Thankfully, two Good Samaritans stopped at the scene to help that trooper. Barber and his brother are now charged with assault and resisting an arrest. In New York, a cell phone captured the dramatic rescue of a teenager who fell through the ice. Take a look. Police say the 16-year-old was dancing on a frozen pond in Central Park when that thin layer of ice cracked, causing the boy to fall into the freezing water. Officers tried to use a ladder to stretch across the ice, but when that didn't work, they just tried reaching out to him instead.
We heard ice crack and it was getting weaker and weaker by a minute. We came with a plan that if I take my gun belt off, I'll be less lighter.
After pulling the boy out, officers say he was turning blue, shaking, and still in shock. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where he remains in stable condition.
Do you have $60 million burning a hole in your pocket? If so, check out this rare diamond, the Pink Star. Sotheby's is auctioning off in Hong Kong on April 4th, this beautiful diamond. Just under 60 carats, this mixed cut diamond is the largest internally flawless, fancy, vivid pink diamond ever graded by the Geological Institute of America. Yet it is small enough to fit on a ring, so there you go. Sotheby's expects the Pink Star to sell at upwards of $60 million. If you're like me, when you hear baby and pamper, well, you would think of diapers. But now there's a whole new way to pamper your baby thanks to an Australian spa that is just for little ones. Seriously, it is. Baby Spa Perth offers spa services for newborns ranging from infant massage to hydrotherapy. The spa says treatments may improve sleep and promote muscle growth. Besides, what better way for a newborn to unwind after a very grueling day? They have a hard life. They have to eat, they have to poop, they have to do all that stuff. So I have seen something similar called Swim Gym where they do this. I don't know that they do all the other like spa stuff, but I think that was one of those Shark Tank things. And I know some of my friends I've seen on social media have taken their babies to that, and they seem to like it, and it introduces them to the water. That's always a good thing, so they're not scared. And
the thing I heard that I liked was it could help them sleep better.
Every
that's huge.
parent,
yes.
I think you'll pay anything, right, to get a baby to sleep. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, tagging great white sharks, what Mote Marine scientists hope to learn from a recent expedition.
Plus, preventing election fraud, Florida may take another step to help make sure people are not registered to vote in multiple states.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. We get competitive about car wash skills, plus a Sarasota Film Festival preview, the best workout apps, and Snap Dog in the kitchen. Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
car experts and customers agree. There's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru was named the 2016 Best Overall Brand, Most Trusted, and Best Performance Brand by Kelley Blue Book. And ALG named Subaru its top mainstream brand for residual value for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Florida Studio Theater presents Piano Men, held over by popular demand through April 2nd. Attributing the virtuosity and elegance of the Piano Man, Piano Men features the works of 20th century's best pianists and songwriters. Featuring songs from music icons such as Billy Joel, Stevie Wonder, and Barry Manilow, don't miss what critics are saying is energetic, with fun and playful performances that evokes hits of an era. Piano Men is held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
I met a girl, she made me smile, she made me wait. She crossed the street, she crossed my heart, she fixed her dress, she bit her lip.
Things can happen in an instant. We never expected Brady to be in an accident. And if he didn't have blood donors, he wouldn't be here.
To Suncoast blood donors and everybody in this community, I'd say thank you. I'm gonna pay it forward.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.